All right. So the puppies that I brought home the other day, the little boy, there's a boy and a girl. The tan one, I thought was a boy. It's a girl. Guys, come on, let's go potty. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, come on, come on. And the gray and white one that I named Utah had Parvo when I brought him home. So let me show you real quick where we're at. This is little Utah. And then this one over here, this is the girl, and I named her Tyler. That was a suggestion from TikTok. Guys, enough. No, go potty. Go potty. Okay, so looking at this dog, you would never think that he had Parvo because the signs and symptoms didn't get to that. They just didn't get to that point. It was his poop. I'm really big on this because Parvo has just been a nightmare down in my area the last 6 months, maybe a year, but I've dealt with it a lot owning the rescue. And anytime I bring a dog home like this, the first thing I do is watch their poop. And his poop didn't look great. I didn't think too much of it, just kind of went with it, kept an eye on it. And the next poop we had blood in it, and it had a very intense smell. Parvo poop smells like no other. You will know. Anyway, so what I'm going to do with this video, just so you guys have an idea, he's fine. It was really treatable. We did, I'm going to do another YouTube video that's not live that will be edited so that anyone that struggles or that has Parvo or that deals with that, you'll know what to do. If you can't hospitalize a dog, he didn't need to be hospitalized. But I'm going to train these dogs. And I want you guys to see the beginning stages and, however far we go before they get adopted of what this looks like. Because now that they're here, I wanted another rescue to take them. I was hoping I could do that. I could find someone to take them because I've got 13 dogs here in the house, and only 4 of those are my personal pack. The rest are rescue dogs that I bring in and I get them fixed up and then I rehome them. With Pitbulls, this is a very bold breed, and now I've already got them. I'm not going to try and have somebody else take over for me because the truth is most rescues don't train their dogs, and I can't. I just don't. Oh, hi, Emily. I don't see how that can work as a rescue. When I started out, the 3rd dog I rescued almost killed me, and so I had to learn how to train dogs right away. And then I became a dog trainer. So I've never ran the rescue without a heavy amount of discipline and structure and training. All my dogs get trained. All the dogs that I bring into the rescue have an element, have a foundation of training. So I'm going to work with them, and we're going to start the process with them. And today I'm just going to show you hand feeding for eye contact. I worked with them a little bit this morning. They're both really good girl. Good job. Good girl going potty outside. Good girl. That's a good girl. Double check her poop. So the other part, I'll let you know about this real quick before we go inside and start training. Little Utah, the little boy right here, he was, make sure that her poop is normal. He was the one that had Parvo, and he was at the vet all day and nothing showed up there. He was fine. They didn't catch any of it. So I brought him home, and then I had these 2 together, and that's when I realized, like a couple hours later, that he had it. They had already been together. So at this point, I'm not going to try and separate them, and I'm not going to try and manage that, not because I don't want to keep her safe or I don't want her to get it, but with the amount of dogs that I have right now, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work as far as trying to keep one of these puppies quarantined without it's so much work, and there's only one of me. So if she does get it, she might not, because I caught his really early. If she does get it, she'll be fine. It'll be a day's worth of antibiotics. We'll get her through it, and it's not a big deal. They won't miss a beat is what I'm saying. That might sound negligent, but in my arena, it's not. It's doing the best for them. Come on, guys. Okay. So the reason that they're still out here in the studio is because I want to make sure that she doesn't get it, and I don't want her contracting it to the other dogs, or the other dogs getting it And so I'm just waiting until he gets through another day or so of antibiotics before we do that. So what I'm going to do is put leashes on these dogs, not expect them to be able to walk on a leash by any means, or, not pull. It's just so that I can control them from jumping on me and running all over the place. And I am so sorry about this video. This is why I don't do lives, because God, I hate all the nonsense that comes with doing this kind of stuff. This is my phone, and I got to make sure that I can get this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So hand feeding for eye contact is a big, big deal. This is one of the most overlooked training protocols that you can do for your dog. Hand feeding for eye contact works their brain. It builds that bond between you and the dog. It teaches them how to focus on you. But when you can work a dog's brain, that is far more beneficial in a lot of cases, not in all, but in a lot of cases, than just giving your dog 2 acres to go, run and go bananas. I'm not saying they don't need that. They absolutely do need that. But with a lot of us that live in the city and a lot of these people that get dogs like this, and then they can't quite understand why the dog's going crazy or attacking the other dogs. Well, when you have a yard and you let them go in and out of the doggy door, because you didn't work their brain. They don't have anything to do. They don't have, what are they supposed to be doing? So we're going to see how this goes. And then I'm going to post their training as we move along, and depending on how this camera setup works. God, this is going to suck with my phone. That's all right. Okay, so we'll start with baby Utah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and clip Tyler over here, right here on this little tie back, so that they're not, no, stop it. Come here. Come here. So she's not trying to get, okay. All right, little nut job, come here. He's super responsive to this. So I'm going to step on my leash so that he doesn't go try and run anywhere. Let me pull this up so you can get a better angle. He already knows what's coming. Oops, that's my keys. I've got dehydrated turkey sardine I think it's from Stella, in my hand. And so what I'm going to do is hold it in my hand, and I'll show you. So I hold it right here, and then I take and I hold it out to the side, and I wait for his eyes to come and look at mine. And once he does, I say yes, and I give him the food. And you can tell I worked with him 10 minutes this morning. He understands what this is. So I'm going to hold it out to the side. Yes, good boy. He was looking at both hands. Good boy. Again, I'm working his brain. We're building on engagement. I'm the hand that feeds him. So I got it in both hands. Yes, good boy. Good boy. And then he's going to start to learn as we move forward with training. The way to win, the way to get what you want, is to check in with me. Yes, good boy. Look at you. Vet said little Utah here is probably 6 months old. He's got his adult teeth. He's a little stocky guy. Yes. So all my dogs come with training, but I will not rehome to anybody that doesn't agree to continue the training. And depending on which dog, yes, that you're interested in adopting is dependent on how many appointments, we do together. Like my dog Hunter that I adopted out last summer, his owner had to do, I think it was three or four training appointments with me before he took him. Yes, good boy. Look at this little peanut back here. Just patiently waiting. So as we move forward with this, they're going to learn eye contact. I'm going to switch them out. They're going to learn eye contact. We're going to do place command. We're going to learn down. We're going to learn recall. They're definitely going to learn how to walk on leashes. And I'm going to do all that with as little editing as possible. The only reason I'll do edits is just so you don't have to listen to me ramble for fucking 10 hours because I'm so long-winded. I even annoy myself when I can hear myself talk. I'm like, oh my God, hurry and finish this sentence. I'm so over it. Okay. So I've got her leash. I don't want her jumping on me. In that, I just walked right into her and used my body to tell her, don't do that. You can't have dogs like this jumping. I'm not going to rehome a dog like this jumping. That's how dogs get sent to the shelter. Sounds really stupid, but it's so true. Big dog starts jumping, knocks down grandma, pushes over a kid. Dogs get killed for stupid shit. Okay, so I didn't tell her to sit, didn't tell her anything. I got food in both hands. I'm just going to wait for eye contact. Whoops. Yes, good. Whoops, good girl. Let me get my camera angle a little bit better for this little girl. You got it. Okay, got food in both hands, out to the side. Yes, good girl. You know what to do. Great job. Food in both hands, out to the side. Yes, good job. You are so smart. You are so smart. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. There we go. That's what we needed. Okay, food in both hands, out to the side. Yes, good girl. Yes, they're both doing so good. These little guys, they're so awesome. Yes, good girl. Her eye contact is way stronger than what Utah's is. Yes. He's like a little flippin' person. Yes, good girl. He looks like his name would be Doug, and he would be from Ohio. He'd want to have a beer after work. Look at him. What's up, Doug? Yes, good girl. So if you're going to do this, if you want to do this, I'm using some high value food right now because everything's super new to these guys. I don't need to. They're both pretty food motivated. Yes. And I could use just their regular food, but I wanted to make sure I had engagement for doing this live. Um, what I would suggest, if you're interested, is you use your dog's daily food. So if your dog is not food motivated, yes, good girl. And this is how you do it. And I got a video in here on YouTube on how you do this. If your dog's not food motivated, you put them in their crate, you offer them their food, you let it sit for, yes, 10 or 15 minutes. If they don't eat it, you take it out and you offer it to them again at dinner. If at dinner they don't eat it, 10 or 15 minutes go by, you take it out and you wait until the next day. Yes, good girl. No dog will starve themselves to death. It won't happen. They might protest, but they will not starve themselves. Yes. Once they realize that their food comes at a certain time, and if they don't eat, they're not going to get food, they'll start eating. And then you can start doing this, putting it in your hand during that feeding moment. Yes. And start having them work for it. So again, I'm not asking her to sit. I'm not asking her to do anything. I just don't want her running away. So I have a leash on her that I'm standing on. Oh, my goodness. Are you getting pissed off? Are you getting pissed off back there? As I build on this, I'm going to teach her how to sit on command, and we'll just keep upping it. But that's it. That's all we're doing for today. We're just learning eye contact. Yes. Tomorrow we'll work on recall. And you guys tell me, do the lives help? Is it worth doing? Or would you prefer that I do the edited stuff? I I don't mind editing. I love doing it. It just takes forever to do with this many dogs. So that's why I'm doing lives. But if you want to see this kind of stuff live, I'm happy to do it because I'm not going to edit out the garbage in the lives. You know, you're going to see shit go down and mistakes happen and how we work through them. I just talk a lot. So there's that. All right. If you're interested in either of these dogs and you're in the Phoenix area and you want to potentially adopt, I have adoption applications on my website, handoverrover.com. You can go there and fill out an application. I forgot to leave a place on that application for the name of the dog. In the same house, though. Dog Leash Foundation help the two dogs. Yes, it will. Yeah, because if your dogs are fighting in the house, you have to leave leashes on them. They shouldn't be out together right now. Like, say these two dogs were fighting, like they got into it, this wouldn't happen. You don't get to free roam and hang out like this if you're starting fights with each other. What you do get to do is have a leash on. You get to learn how to walk on a leash correctly. You get to learn hand feeding. You get to learn what the place command is. You get to learn what a kennel is, and you get to learn to work. For us, for most of us that own dogs, no, I'm not gonna let him off while he's getting crazy. No, when you calm down, you can get off. No. Good. That's a good boy. That's a good. Good. Okay, let's go potty. For a lot of us that have dogs, and we talk about place command, crating, all of these things that I'm doing, it sounds really mean. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? What's the point of having a dog if you're going to do all that stuff? Well, if you don't have, 5 acres in Montana and a river for your dog to go, oh, she's going to do that. She's peed in the crate. Come on. Hurry. Go outside. She keeps peeing in his crate, not even in her own. Come on, go potty. I'm not going to get her in trouble for that because she was doing it. So the best you do is you take them outside, reward them when they pee outside, and then just keep them on a schedule. She's a puppy. She doesn't know. So if you don't have, a bunch of land and you're not doing a ton of things where the dog can really be a dog, like you're not hiking up a mountain and having them do the things that their breed was meant to do, you've got to give them things to do. When you don't do that and you do not provide leadership for your dog, meaning, I'm not talking about alpha dominance, like kicking your dog's ass. I'm talking about if, like right now, when he was barking, don't do that. You don't need to do that. That's not how I run my house. You don't get to be mouthy and obnoxious and expect that I'm just going to give you everything because you're adorable and you're a puppy, especially this breed. Absolutely not. But when you're calm and you're quiet, yeah, then I'm going to give you the world and take out a fucking life insurance policy for you. So if you're not giving your dog that kind of leadership that says, these are the things that you have to do. 2 out of crate, I did the walking with muzzles with help. No, I'll have to read that. That already went away. I'll have to read that in a second. And you're not giving them proper physical exercise and brain exercise. You got to do both of them. You can't do just one. You got to do both of them. That's when fights start. Your dog's not most likely you're not going to have a dog that has a brain tumor or, some kind of neurological disorder that's going to cause them to start fighting. Most likely the dogs didn't get the right start, or you just gave them everything. And I'm not pointing the fingers because I sure shit did it. We've all done it. I don't know anybody that had, a dog that they were in love with that they didn't give everything to. Those of us that love our dogs the most have the worst dogs because we failed to give them proper socialization, proper foundation, and we didn't show up as the leader. So then the dog looks at us like the roommate or the person that just is the Pez dispenser, and they start getting pushy. And then when they go through that adolescent period, they start making their own rules. And if they get bored, this sounds terrible, but if they get bored, I had a client tell me once, she's like, Coco, I almost feel like he likes it, like getting in fights. He like gets this look like he likes it. Well, he does, because it's stimulating for him. It doesn't mean he was born to fight or that's what he wants. Like, he's not trying to kick his brother's ass. He doesn't have anything else. He doesn't have any outlet. If you lift weights, if you're somebody that goes to the gym or you're a runner and you don't get that lift in, you don't get that run in, you don't get that, you get edgy. I know I do. It's like taking a bunch of pre-workout and then sitting in traffic. You're like, oh my God, 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 I got it. You know, somebody honks at you and you're about ready to have road rage. You just didn't get it out. That's what they're doing. So you got to start somewhere. And I send everybody to the Leash Foundation course because if you don't know how to properly handle a leash, that's your device to communicate. That is your device to give your dog direction. That's your steering wheel. If you don't know how to work a leash, you're screwed because most of us didn't grow up like Caesar with the right respect and the right energy to properly walk in and command a room of animals. If you did, use it. I wish we had that. I wish it was taught. Like I wish it was a staple for us, but it just wasn't. So you got to learn that. So that's why I preach you got to be the best version of yourself, because when you're more confident, you calm down. When you're more confident, your dog is going to believe you. And then you start implementing foundational stuff. You teach them how to walk at your side on a leash, not out in front of you. Not saying they can't sniff and do all that other stuff, but when they have to walk with you, is a prong better than a slip? No, not necessarily. It just depends on where you're at with your dog. I use both. I even use gentle leads. It just depends. All the tools are really good, just depending on what dog you have. The Leash Foundation course is all slip lead. It's the most basic. If you need a little bit more communication, if you need a little bit more, if the slip isn't quite giving you that, like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention, your dog's just kind of blowing through it, that's where a prong collar can come in. But don't start with the prong. Start with the slip. Start with the most basic, and then decide what tool you might need. That way you know how to work a leash. You know how to give that feedback on the prong. The prong isn't to fix your dog. The prong is just a device to communicate. That's it. So, okay, I knew I was going to get too long-winded on this. If you're interested in adopting, handoverrover.com. I also am going to post a video on Parvo and how to work through that if you got it, if you've had it, if you are in fear of getting it. And thanks for being here. Let me know if lives are helpful for this kind of stuff or if you prefer the edited versions, because I will always do the edited versions because I like the stuff that comes with that, and I like talking less. All right, guys, we love you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting these little critters, and we'll see you on the next video.